From the cautious theory of Marburg neo-Kantianism that human beings are not mere individuals, but stand in various pluralities in rank and file, and first complete the circle of their being in the larger totality, Allheit, to the contemporary philosophies according to which, as with Hegel, the meaning of human existence fulfills itself only in the super-individual unities of history, whether these be class, state, or nation, from Hermann Cohen to Ottmar Spahn. Philosophy in recent decades has brought forth the most variegated social philosophical systems. The newer philosophical attempts to ground moral and legal theory anew against positivism are almost entirely at one in the effort to demonstrate, above the level of actual empirical events, the existence of a higher autonomous realm of being, or at least a realm of value or normativity in which transitory human beings have a share, but which is itself not reducible to mundane events. Thus these too lead to a new philosophy of objective spirit. If it can be said that Kelson's individualistic and relativistic theory of justice contains such elements, this is even more true of the formalistic value philosophy of the Southwest German school, and indeed of Adolf Reinach's phenomenological theory that the essence of legal forms, Rechtsgebilde, such as property, promises, legal claims, etc., may be viewed as objects unto themselves. Shaler's non-formal ethics of virtues, his theory of the givenness, An-sich-sein, of values, has recently found a conscious connection to the philosophy of objective spirit, and its most significant exponent, Nikolai Hartmann. Shaler himself had already adumbrated afresh the theory of group minds, Volksgeister, before the appearance of Hartmann's ethics. All of these contemporary versions of social philosophy seem to share the effort to provide insight into a supra-individual sphere which is more essential, more meaningful, and more substantial than their own existence. They measure up well to the task of transfiguration laid out by Hegel. Thus, in the only modern philosophical work that radically rejects any aspiration to being a social philosophy, and which discovers true being exclusively within the individual's inner self, namely in Heidegger's Being and Time, Care, Sorge, stands at the center of attention. This philosophy of individual human existence is not, according to its simple content, transfigurative in Hegel's sense. For this philosophy, on the contrary, human being is only being unto death, mere finitude. It is a melancholy philosophy. If I may speak here in catchphrases, it could be maintained that social philosophy is confronted with a yearning for a new interpretation of a life trapped in its individual striving for happiness. It appears as part of those philosophical and religious efforts to submerge hopeless individual existence into the bosom, or, to speak with Sombar, the gilded background, Goldgrund, of meaningful totalities. In the face of this social philosophy, however, ladies and gentlemen, we must be permitted to characterize its shortcomings. Contemporary social philosophy, as we have seen, is in the main polemically disposed toward positivism. If the latter sees only the particular, in the realm of society it sees only the individual and the relations between individuals. For positivism, everything is exhausted in mere facts. Tatsächlichkeiten. These facts, demonstrable with the means of analytic science, are not questioned by philosophy, but philosophy sets them more or less constructively, more or less philosophically over against ideas, essences, totalities, independent spheres of objective spirit, unities of meaning, national characters, etc., which it considers equally foundational, indeed, more authentic, elements of being. It takes the discovery of certain unprovable metaphysical preconditions in positivism as grounds for outdoing positivism in this regard. The Pareto school, for instance, must deny the existence of class, nation, and humanity due to its positivistic concept of reality. In contrast, the various viewpoints which maintain the existence of such entities appear simply as another worldview, another metaphysics, or another consciousness, without any possibility of a valid resolution of the matter. One might say that several concepts of reality are involved. It would be possible to investigate the genesis of these different concepts, or to which kind of innate sensibility or social group they correspond. But one cannot be preferred to another on substantive grounds. Now, it is precisely in this dilemma of social philosophy, this inability to speak of its object, namely the cultural life of humanity, other than in ideological, weltanschaulich, sectarian, and confessional terms, the inclination to see in the social theories of Auguste Comte, Karl Marx, Max Weber, and Max Scheler differences in articles of faith rather than differences in true, false, or at least problematic theories. It is in this dilemma that we find the difficulty that must be overcome. Of course, the simultaneous existence and validity of various concepts of reality is an indication of the contemporary intellectual situation as a whole. But this variety is rooted in different areas of knowledge and spheres of life, not in one and the same object domain. Thus, for instance, the constitutive categories of philology and of physics may diverge today so greatly that it appears difficult to bring them under one hat. But within physics itself, indeed within the sciences of inorganic nature as a whole, no such tendency exists to develop irreconcilable concepts of reality. The opposite is the case. Here, the corrective is supplied by concrete research on the object.